side. Talk about how much difference that's going to make and how you and Coach Hall are going to work together.
Man, we're going to work together closely, man. Looking forward to that. I've known Coach Hall for a good while, man, and back to his days playing before me at Alabama. I used to see him when I was a captain there my senior year. I see him in and out of the building all the time, never knowing that, you know, we would be coaching together one day. And I'd also go by his job when he was coaching in Tennessee at a high school there, and got a chance to reconnect with him while he was out there. So I'm looking forward to that, man. But anytime you're able to specialize and you know, just really zoom in on one thing, you really, you know, you can concentrate on it and get guys a lot better, and you can spend more time with them. So that's been a lot better. You know, before doing them all, I've coached them all four, you know, at times in my career, and it's good also to know what everybody's doing. So we're going to try not to lose that element of knowing what everybody's doing, because you're that much better of a player when you know what your brothers are doing. So that's why we got to work hand in hand and together, but also be able to specialize and spend that, you know, intimate time with your position.
Coach, how excited were you when you found out that Christian was going to be coming back, and how important is that not only for the front and for the defense, but for the entire team and his leadership?
I would do a split right now, but you know, in honor of old Christian, I was so excited. I mean, the kid is one of a kind, and what a great young man he is. Great leader, great personality. And the thing a lot of people don't know about him is just the effect that he has on a room. Like he makes the room instantly better. He brings the same energy every day, and that type of stuff is priceless. And you know, we're just ecstatic to have him back.
Coach, talk about, you've been here a year now. The difference between recruiting at other schools and at Clemson, and the difference between coaching at other schools and at Clemson. What do you see the difference?
What do you see when you look at that, Paul? You know it, don't you? That's what I think the difference is, and I'm saying that humbly. You know, I being at Jacksonville State and some other places that I've been, you know, you may get asked, are you, you know, who are you when you go into the school? And people see that, Paul, and they recognize the Clemson brand, you know. So that's been wonderful, just being able to instant credibility, instant recognition of a kid knowing your school and knowing the things that you've accomplished, because we've done some great things here at Clemson, and you know, the future's bright.
We know how important it is, you know, Christian and Dexter are, but how important will it be for you this year to get Niles and some of Darnell and some of those guys up to speed and get them in games, playing time?
That's always important, man. That, you know, just as important as recruiting is development, and those guys putting in the work to where they understand what you're trying to do, because as a young player, that's the biggest barrier for you, is knowing what to do. So those guys have really put in, they understand their role, they're getting a better handle on the playbook. You know, Niles has been here now, you know, going on his third year, so he is, I expect big things out of him. And, you know, just having him this spring, being able to talk to him, you know, and coach him, you can tell that he has a handle on it. So, and players like Darnell getting here early helped him. You know, getting here early in the spring and being able to go through that helped him tremendously. So I'm looking forward to getting back rolling with those guys in camp, and not having, you know, you know, of course we'll restart where we began at in the spring, but those guys will be light years ahead.
Coach Jordan Williams, talk about him for a minute.
Oh, Jordan, man, he is, he had a phenomenal spring. And, you know, he came in at about 272 pounds as a freshman. He's about 305 pounds now. He's really worked in the weight room, and, you know, he's been under Christian's wing for, you know, a year now. And it's almost like they're Siamese twins, because wherever you see one, you see the other. And Christian does a great job of leading him and leading the whole group. And I'm just looking forward to him, man. He really came on the spring, and look for some carryover in the summer in the camp.
129 or 131 power, you know, Division I teams. Is it safe to say Albert Huggins might could start for 126 of them?
He is, I tell you, he has really came on, and I tell you, he's the perfect example of being ready when your number's called, and fighting to the end, because, you know, at Florida State last year, you know, we have Dexter go down, and he steps right in there and has a, you know, player of the game type of game. And just looking forward, because he carried that over in the spring, had a wonderful spring, and just looking forward to seeing him continue, you know, that growth as a player. And he's been consistent. He's worked his butt off, and I think y'all gonna like what you see out of him.
Is he an NFL guy?
I think he is. I think he is. I think he has all the tools, and he's just putting them together every day, sharpening and shining them up.
Coach, with your position group being so deep, how do you manage those guys and keep everybody happy with snaps and snap counts?
Well, I think a lot of times, you know, you're on the other side of this where you don't have enough guys that can do it. Being on the side where you got guys, you know, three starter level guys and capable, well capable backups, you just have to coach them and truthfully. And what I mean by that is guys got to earn it every week. Yeah, it's got to be, you know, fair and to where if I'm outperforming this guy, I'm going to start or I'm going to play. And that's the best type of situation to be in, where you got competition at that level of a Christian Wilkins, Dexter Lawrence, and Albert Huggins, and the rest of the gang. I just think it's going to be fun, man. And those guys know how we're going to do it. They know that the best, whoever puts in the work is going to play.
Going back to Dexter, the injury last year, do you think he's going to be 100% when he hit the field?
I think he will be. I think he will be. He's really worked his butt off. It was good to see him working camp and running around a little bit. It's been, you know, good to hear about him over this summer, doing his workouts. He's looking good. I saw him again yesterday. Yesterday was our first day back in the office from vacation, but I got a chance to see him, of course, and he's been looking good.
Coach, how much flexibility does the new redshirt rule give you in being able to develop young guys like Justin and Darnell, give them meaningful snaps late in the season?
It's clutch. That is very clutch. I mean, you know, before you had to worry about burning the red shirt and all of that, and, you know, you got some mulligans, if you would, now to go out there and get some extra reps. And I just think it's going to be big because, again, development is so important. And that's a big, you know, there's no development really without the opportunity to play.
Last year you took just a couple defensive linemen in the class, and Darnell being one of them. What was it about Darnell that stood out to you guys?
Darnell's work ethic. He has really come in here and worked his butt off and been a resilient guy. You know, not as far as, you know, it's a big learning curve on learning the plays and learning things like that. But effort can't ever be a problem, and that ain't been a problem for him. He's always running to the ball. He's always giving effort, and you can see flashes of the talent that he has. But it's always just that learning curve that you got to get over. And he's put in extra time in his playbook on his own and with the leaders of this team and with myself. And as long as he's doing that, he's going to be just fine.
Can you think of a time in college football when a team has had two dominant defensive tackles like Christian and Dex at the same time?
I tell you what, I go back, and this is just because I feel like I'm getting pretty old when I say this, but you'd have to go back to the Tennessee days whenever, and I think Dan Brooks was a D-line coach there during that time, and they had a guy named Albert Hainsworth from Hartsville, and then they had Henderson. That's the two guys, and I just remember our O-line preparing for those guys and talking about how they had their work cut out for them and how they're going to block those two, because you can't double team everybody.
How much of a luxury is it to have the leadership that you're getting from Christian in that first group? You know, during we mentioned it yesterday to Dabo that we were at the all-off event the other day, and they were all out there supporting their teammates. They're here in the summer working out. How much of a luxury is it to have it? You can let those guys go out on their own and do what they do.
I tell you what, man, you just give them a little bit of guidance and direction, and those guys, they take it to the 10th degree and put their arms all the way around the guys and get them ready to go and show them how to work. It's been no holes, no gaps left uncovered. So it's just tremendous the job that they've been able to do.
What aspect of the game do you feel like takes a team to kind of get back, just the hardest to get back in the swing of things?
I guess if you let yourself get out of shape, are you talking about workouts?
Workouts and just maybe just the part of the game that you guys just are slowest to get back into form?
I mean, play in shape, and I think Coach Basson does a great job of not letting our guys get out of playing shape. They do well in every phase. We've got it broken down in phases, and they show up and they're ready to go because they put in work on their own. The majority of our team does that.
We talked about working with Coach Hall and the relationship you guys have.
Man, it's going to be really fun this year. We actually worked together last year as well, some, and just off the field stuff. And I know he brings a wealth of knowledge of the overall game. You know, he having played quarterback in high school, having played safety, and he's played so many positions, and then playing linebacker for 9 or 10 years in the league, and then being able to be around our scheme for even 3 years longer than myself, and being a part of all those ACC championships that we have here. I look forward to working with him, man. We really have the same belief system, man, and we know that, you know, guys play better when they know what their brothers are doing. They know where they can't go, not just what their job is.
What's